hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another video. This is the second monthly update for this beast, Les Misérables by Victor Hugo, if you didn't know from the title. But it's currently like the 22nd. I haven't done an update since last month. I did weekly ones. I did want to do it this month. I just haven't been feeling good, so I've just been a bit more reserved or whatever. But anywho, let's talk about his book, what's been going on, because this series is spoiler filled. It's me just telling you what's going on in the book, so your enjoyment hopefully, but also so I can remember and know what's going on so I don't forget, because as you can tell, it's massive and I'm reading a chapter a day throughout the whole year, so by December I'm gonna forget about what happened now. But anywho, so we finished January with Jean Valjean sort of saying he's gonna like change himself. He's not gonna be like hating humanity and things. He wants to become a better person. And then we go to the year 1817, so it's in Paris, and we meet Felix, Tholomyès, Listelier, I'm so sorry, Famiel and Blanchevelle. I believe that's all their last names, and they all have a girlfriend, and their names are Favourite, Dahlia, Zephine, and Fantine, who is a titular character of this part of the book. And basically they have like a nice day out, and then they go to like a main bit in Paris and they have sort of like a meal and things, and the guys are all like, we have a surprise for you. And do you know what that surprise is? They leave them. They literally just like, they go into the street, they get on like a carriage, and they send the butler or whatever at the restaurant to give them like a letter, and the letter says that they've sort of enjoyed this time or whatever, and they've like left them and they're going back to like the provinces or sort of like country places where they lived before. I believe that's what was happening. I might have forgotten, not saying, but that's basically the gist of it. And like, they're all a bit like, this is a joke, right? This is a practical joke. But Fantine is like, oh, maybe it's not. And I'm in a bit of a worse predicament than you girls, because I have a baby. ... Like, what is an unmarried young woman with a baby supposed to do in a time when it's sort of viewed as like so disgusting and such a like horrible bad thing, because obviously it's a woman's fault that she has a baby and she got herself pregnant. You know, the man didn't do nothing at all, did he? But yeah, so she is sort of like a bit like, oh damn, like what can I do? So she wants to sort of like go back home and see if she can like make a life for herself back there in Montreal-sur-Mer, I believe I want to say. But while she's on the way there, she sees this like this woman that's sort of like playing with her children, and she thinks that they look really nice. They're sort of, I don't know really what they are, to be honest. I can't remember, but it's not important. And she asks the woman like, oh, like, they're so nice, and her little girl Cosette plays with the other children, and she asks the woman could she like look after her child while she goes like back home to like sort her life out basically, and sort of like get a job and like make money and things. And she said she's gonna pay for them to like just like take care of her basically and like keep her for some time. And these people are the
Thénardiers. I'm so sorry. Like, some of these French names are so difficult for me to pronounce.
And then Fantine goes off again, and it turns out that these Thénardiers people are absolute horrible people. I didn't want to swear just then, but like they're FCs, if you know what I mean. They're horrible. They are so horrible to this little girl. They like take her clothes and like sell them. They all the money that Fontaine gives them, they just like use on their own children. And she gets she was known locally as La Oulette, the Lark. The village people with instinctive symbolism had thought it a suitable name for the apprehensive, trembling little creature, scarcely more than a bird, but who was always first up in the house and out of doors before dawn. But this was a lark that never sang. Yeah, so basically just like use her for slave labor in a sense, and just like make her like do all like the chores and stuff. And she's still like a really little girl. I can't remember how old she is. I think she's maybe like 5 or something. But yeah, I was like, you horrible people. After leaving Cassette with them, she goes to Montreal-sur-Mer, and now this is the year 1818. And the town has sort of had like a resurgence over the past few years with a Monsieur Madeleine, who later becomes the mayor. He comes in with these new ideas for how to like reinvigorate the industries in the town, and he gets people like into work, and the town sort of manufacture like beads of like black glass or something, and he sort of like all the things he did greatly reduced costs, which in the first place enabled the trade to pay higher wages, and then benefited the districts. And it says in less than 3 years, the innovator had grown rich, which is good, and had spread prosperity around him, which is better. And although like lots of people in the town was all like, oh, he's just doing it for like money and things, but afterwards he starts like paying it back to like the poor and the community and like the needy and like the sick, and like pays like hospital beds and like the education and like all these sort of like things. And they were like, oh, he's just doing it for like for a good like rapport and like wants to get up in political power and stuff. But then when he is asked to become the mayor, he denies it like 2 or 3 times. So like, what is this game? Like, what is this man doing? But afterwards he does finally accept it. And yeah, he is a really like a nice person. As I said, sort of like he is just like caring for the town folk. Yeah, but like not everyone likes him, especially this man called Javert or Havert. I'm not sure how to pronounce it again. And he is like the police like chief sort of person there. And he thinks that he's seen this Madeleine before, because when Madeleine came to the town, like he was sort of just like mysterious and nobody really like knew who he was. Like he didn't really have much of like a backstory. He just comes in with like these like money and like not that much money, but like a bit, and sort of like invigorates it all. But this Havert person, he thinks he's seen him before, and also some other like telltale signs that from Madeleine's sort of like life and like backstory sort of point you in the pathway that he could be someone we've already met. I think he is Jean Valjean, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, there's a bit when he hears about the death of Monsieur Myriel or Monsieur Bienvenu from the first part, and he is like quite upset about this. So yeah, and the thing that so afterwards, this old man gets like trapped under like a horse cart thing, and sort of like no one really know what to do. So Madeleine sort of like just like call the police or someone, get under and help and stuff, but he's sort of reluctant to do it because he knows Javert's watching him. And then Javert says that the only person he's ever seen been able to go underneath and like lift such a big weight is someone he saw in prison, and obviously Jean Valjean was in prison. But yeah, that's that. So they don't really have that good a relationship, but they sort of just like keep to each other things. Okay, and now we're getting back to Fantine. Honestly, I'm just talking for the sake of talking now, but like it is relevant to the story. Obviously, this woman, like, I'm sorry, what was your problem? Like, seriously, what was your problem? Oh, anyway, 1 second. So Fantine gets a job in the factory making like things that the Madeleine person has sort of made, and she's sort of aware of him, but he's just like a top figure, that's sort of like her like main employer in a way. And things like looking up, she sort of like be able to like buy things, like send regular checks to the Fernandez, but it's not like the wealthy luxury, it's just like going okay. But then this woman, this busybody, Madame Victorinen, whatever, so she goes and finds out about Cosette, and then she brings this news back to the town. She sort of starts spreading rumors and things, and it's like, oh, like this woman, you know, she has a child, like that's so like bad, like she's a single mother, how disgusting, how vile, like like she just shut her legs, like look at her, all this sort of stuff. And she's just like, hun, shut up. You're Rudy. Like literally, what is your problem? Like, what is your problem? Like she's not done anything to you, just like mind your own business, love. But anywho, word gets out and she gets dismissed from her employment because how can they have someone like her live like working for them? Like, oh, disgusting. And then her life is just spirals, and it's so upsetting. She's sort of like the Fernandez are asking for like more money and stuff. They like pretending like Cosette's sick, and if they don't get money, they're gonna like put her out on the streets. She seems like in like a really like dire situation, and she sort of like resorts like selling her hair, and then afterwards her front teeth, and it's really heartbreaking to like read these parts, because this is a woman that she just wants to care for her child and she wants to be with her child, but like no one's like helping her, like giving her a break, and she just like dig at the bottom of the barrel sort of thing for money to send to these people that like not even using it on her child. So she like it's like when you know that, it makes it even more worse. But eventually she becomes a prostitute, and it's at a time when she's sort of like trawling like the streets a little bit later, and this guy is sort of like blowing smoke in her face and calling her ugly and things, and afterwards he walks up to her and puts snow down the back of her dress. She's just like it's freezing cold, and she's like shook, and she's like, what the actual? So she sort of like hits him and tots off his hat or something, breaks it or something, and people seeing it, like there is like big commotion and stuff. And then Javert like goes over to her and like sort of like arrest her, and the guy that did this just sort of runs away, because obviously they're gonna take his viewpoint, because he is a civilian, he is a citizen of the country, because he has money and stuff, even though he's a literal and he sort of like takes her back and says that you're gonna have 6 months in prison, and like she's not gonna be able to earn anything, so like she's not gonna be able to send any money back, and they're gonna like put her child onto the street. But then the mayor Madeleine walks in. He's like, no, you're not. I know the articles of the thingamabob and thingamabob. I saw all what was going on. You like, this isn't a proper arrest. You can't do this. He has more authority than Javert. So Javert is like he's dumbstruck. He's like, what are you talking about, love? Like, I'm sorry, like I'm the police officer here. But and then afterwards he says something about like how it was a undue or like arrest or something, and he's gonna lose his post. So he just walks out, and then Fantine is just like, what on earth's going on? Like, I hate you because you're the person that got me fired in a way. She sort of blames him even though he had no idea of it. And afterwards he tells her that he's gonna like make sure she doesn't have to live this life, and she's gonna like either get her reunited with her child and like give her money and things to like make her life better because of all the trouble she's had. And that bit that it ends at, I've just finished now, is just like her sort of falling to her feet and like thanking him for helping her out in this dire situations. And yeah, so it's ended good, but at the same time I have like a feeling that Javert is not done with his sort of like tale in a way, and he wants to get back at him, I think. And then the next book that I've got coming up now, so just finished now, is called Javert. And so yeah, I want to see what he's going to say. I believe it's probably going to do something to do with like getting him to admit he's Jean Valjean, maybe something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm intrigued. And yeah, this was a long update, but it's a bumper update. Next time it's just going to be a 1 weekly one. So yeah, see you in a week's time, but for you it's a couple seconds. And bye for now. So it's been a week, and I finished the chapters. Quite a few of these were like long chapters, like 10 pages plus, which isn't a long chapter, but it's long for this. But yep, what has happened? So Fantine is sort of like in a hospital now because she had like a cough like before she went into prostitution, but it's just sort of like because she hasn't been seeing help, it's just gotten like worse and worse, so she's in like quite bad health. The Monsieur Madeleine has been coming to visit her and stuff, and he's been like sending letters and like money to the Thiandaniers to try and get Cosette back, but they're like quite reluctant to give her back, obviously because she's their like slave basically. And yeah, so then one night Madeleine is in his like office mayor room place, and Javert comes in and he says, I want you to tell the authorities to dismiss me because I've done a bad thing to you, like a person of like importance. And he's like, oh no, it's fine, like the way you spoke to me was fine, I don't really matter. But he's like, no, listen, I sent a message to the something of Paris, saying that I think I know who Jean Valjean is because this character had gone missing. I think he's the Monsieur Madeleine of this town, Montreux-sur-Mer. And then, but on the same day he sent it, in Arras, this man called Chump Matthew, he was convicted of stealing, I want to say an apple. I don't know why I've forgotten that already, but something. And some other people have compared him to Jean Valjean, and they think that's him, and he is going to be put on trial for that, but also the stealing of the coin from the child, and because these are two things from his parole that he couldn't commit another crime, he is due to be sentenced for like many years again, like in the gallows or something. He's like, is like, oh, I'm so sorry I did this, like this is so bad, like I thought it was you from the way you walked and things, but he's just like, well, it's not me. But then afterwards he's in his room and he's all just like going like, oh my hun, what do I do, because I am Jean Valjean. And he's like thinking like, well, I've built up a life for me now. Do I go there and say that I actually am him? And in doing so, his like righteousness and the paths that he's taken from previously would sort of been wasted in a way, and he can't continue it. Of course, it's a continuation for him with having wealth and power and, you know, influence in the town, but also like the town people he's helped and stuff, like maybe the businesses won't be going on and things like that, and other people that are dependent on him, namely Fantine and getting Cosette back. And also like this person is a thief and he's very old, like, does he deserve it in a way? To say also that it's like he should go and reveal himself because that is like the just right thing to do that he sort of promised to Monsieur Bienvenu. And like he's sort of thinking like, well, I will have this conscience of this man like being wrongly accused, but able to live with like respect and things, or he can live knowing that he's done the right thing, but live in horrible conditions. That's just what I was gonna say. So it's this sort of like big moral dilemma. It's the first like big one that we've come to that I don't know if there's going to be more, probably, because look at it. But he's sort of just like pacing around his room. He's like, I really don't know what to do. So he just decides to make his journey to Arras and see then. So I'm happy I was right, because I thought from the start he was Jean Valjean. And yeah, but he's having a lot of struggle getting there as well. Like there's lots of like ups and downs with like the journey, and like the wheel like gets broken and all issues like that, and he has to take a diversion and things. But yeah, he hasn't got there yet, and he's afterwards, like he was like on the journey there, and he's like, well, I don't even know what time it's going to happen, the trial. Like I might have missed it. Like it could have been for nothing. So yeah, we don't know. And also in the hospital, Fantine is like getting like worse, like quite a lot worse. And because the mayor didn't come to visit her, she was like, oh no, I feel like worse. And she asked like, where is he? And this the sister says that he's like gone on a journey, like he won't be back till tomorrow. So she's like convinced, she's like, he's gone to get Cosette for me, he's gone to get my baby. So she's like really brightening up now. She's like, oh my god, yes. But now I'm like, well, what's gonna happen if he doesn't? Well, I don't think he is, but anywho, that's the update for this. My hair looks disgusting, I know, I bleached it last night, but I needed to put a toner on it, but that's obviously not important or relevant to this. But yeah, anywho, hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to come back next month for the March journey vlogs, things, updates with this book, because it's, you know, I'm doing that. And yeah, see you soon. Have a nice morning, even though you are in the wild. Bye.